In HTML, using images is very important. We use the image element to render images on a web page. And this is what the image element looks like in HTML5. In previous versions of HTML, we would have had to have done something like this. But as we're working with HTML5, we just need this. And there is no closing tag to this image element. So to actually define an image in HTML5, we use the image element, and then we need to use the source attribute. And the source attribute will take a relative or an absolute file path or URL, just like the anchor element's href attribute. We're just going to be looking at using a relative file path or URL to render an image on a web page. So as you can see, I've already procured a guinea-pig.jpg image, which is an image of a guinea pig, and the URL is here if you would like to go and download that image and use that yourself. So, as the image is in the same directory as our current HTML file, we just use the file name like this. And that'll render our guinea pig image. So let's take a look in the browser. Save this and preview. As you can see, we have quite a large image of a guinea pig displayed in the browser. So what if we want to actually change the size of that image? We can do that using the width and height attributes. The width and height attributes take values in the form of pixels. So for the width, I'm just going to write 300, which will mean 300 pixels. And for the height, I'm going to give it a height of 350, which will be 350 pixels. So let's save this and take another look in the browser. As you can see, we're able to manipulate the size of the image using the width and height attributes of the image element. So an important thing to note when working with images in HTML is the alt attribute. This refers to alternate text. And we can put in text here that will render in the case that the image itself cannot be rendered. A good example of this is Google's search engine. As search engines can't necessarily read images, they rely on the alternate text provided to actually index that image properly and the web page that contains it. So it's good to be as descriptive as possible when using the alt attribute. So let's save this and take a look in the browser again. As you can see, nothing has actually changed. We've still got our image there. But in the case that our image was not able to be displayed, we would have our alternate text displayed instead. So now let's put our image inside another directory and try rendering an image inside another directory. Put this images directory inside the HTML directory, then move the image inside the images directory. So now that our image is actually inside another directory, just like we would with the href attribute of the anchor element, we can just change the file path or the URL to actually locate the images directory and then the image inside that directory. As we are in this file, we need to go into the images directory and then we can locate or use the image inside that directory. So let's save this and take a look in the browser just to make sure things are displaying properly. As you can see, we still have the image of the guinea pig displayed in our browser. I hope you've learned a little bit about rendering images in HTML using the image element, using relative file paths, using the width and height attributes and also the alternate text attribute of the image element.